the midnight train. Xavier was a man of striking contrasts. In his late 20s, he possessed an air of exuberance that seemed out of place in the somber, rain-drenched cityscape. Tall and lean, his frame hinted at a past athleticism now subdued by the daily grind. His eyes, once bright with ambition, now bore the weight of exhaustion from endless hours at work. That stormy night, Xavier found himself caught in the throes of a relentless downpour that mirrored the turmoil within him. Work had kept him tethered longer than usual, deadlines looming like specters in the dimly lit office. With a weary sigh, he finally gathered his belongings, hoping to escape the suffocating embrace of fluorescent lights and endless paperwork. As Xavier stepped onto the deserted platform, the train station seemed to loom ominously in the darkness, its shadows dancing with the erratic rhythm of the storm. The air was heavy with the scent of wet earth and distant thunder, adding to the eerie atmosphere that clung to the station like a shroud. Boarding the train, Xavier felt a shiver crawl down his spine as he realized he was the sole passenger in the dimly lit carriage. The only sounds were the distant howl of the wind and the rhythmic clatter of wheels against rain-soaked tracks. As the train lurched into motion, Xavier's unease grew with each passing mile. Shadows flickered and danced along the walls, casting grotesque shapes that seemed to mock his sanity. And then, in the half-light of the carriage, he saw them. Figures, hazy and indistinct, appeared and disappeared with each flicker of the overhead lights. Their faces were twisted in expressions of agony, their eyes hollow and empty as they drifted through the carriage like lost souls condemned to wander for eternity. Xavier tried to convince himself it was a trick of the light, a figment of his exhausted mind playing cruel tricks on him. But as the train hurtled through the night, he could no longer deny the truth that lay before him. These were not passengers of the living world. They were echoes of the dead, trapped in a liminal space between life and whatever lay beyond. And somehow, Xavier had stumbled into their realm, a mere mortal adrift in a sea of lost souls. Panic clawed at Xavier's chest as he frantically searched for an escape. But the windows were sealed shut, the doors locked tight against the encroaching darkness. With each passing moment, the train seemed to hurtle further into the abyss, its destination unknown and unknowable. And then, in the dim recesses of the carriage, Xavier saw her. A woman, her features obscured by shadows, reached out to him with ghostly hands that seemed to shimmer and fade with each passing second. Her eyes, twin pools of darkness, bore into his soul with a weight that threatened to crush him. In that moment, Xavier knew the truth. He was not merely a passenger on this midnight train. He was its prisoner, condemned to wander its endless corridors for all eternity. His life, his dreams, his very existence were but fleeting shadows in the vast expanse of the universe, destined to fade into nothingness like those who came before him. As the train hurtled towards its unknown destination, Xavier closed his eyes and let the darkness consume him. In the end, there was only the echo of his own footsteps fading into the abyss, a tragic reminder of a life lost to the relentless march of time.